Today we'll hear statements by the members for the districts of Placentia St. Mary's, Placentia West Bellevue, St. George's Umber, Bonavista, and St. John's Center. The Honorable, the member of Placentia St. Mary's.
Speaker, Marina Power Gammon was born on May 13, 1947 in the community of Branch to Aggie Mooney and John Power, the second child of 7. At the age of 17, upon completion of her grade 11 and a 6-week probationary course, she left to teach grade 5 to 9 in a 2-bedroom school in Coles Harbor. In 1964, she met Pat Gambon, married him, and they had their first child in 1967 and their second in 1968. She completed her Bachelor's of Education degree by attending summer school and evening classes while teaching primary children full-time at St. Edward's School in Placentia. In 2007, she published the book, A Meadow in Time, comprised of a collection of short stories, accounts of her life growing up in Branch in the 1950s and 60s. Many of her articles, stories, and poems have been published in the Down Home magazine, Telegram, and Shoreline. In 1995, she retired from teaching at the age of 48. Her time is now spent volunteering with the Ladies Hospital Auxiliary, cheering for the Montreal Canadiens, and walking every day. Please join me as I wish my mother and all moms a happy Mother's Day.
The Honorable, the member of Placentia West Bellevue.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Today I stand in this honorable house to recognize a community-based organization, Burin Peninsula Brighter Futures, in the beautiful district of Placentia West Bellevue. Burin Peninsula Brighter Futures have been offering programs and services to the families on the Burin Peninsula since April of 1994 and are celebrating their 30th anniversary this year. Through the Family Support Facilitators and a volunteer board of directors, they are committed to support the health of families and children throughout the region. They work to provide a safe and welcoming environment, enrich learning experiences through active engagement, information sharing, and peer support. They promote positive parent-child interactions and offer programs such as Healthy Baby Club, Baby and Me, Basic Self, Small Wonders, and the Clothing Exchange, and the Lending Library. These programs are flexible to meet community needs and work in partnership with other community support services like Burin Peninsula Voice Against Violence. I ask all honorable members of the 50th General Assembly to join me in congratulating Burin Peninsula Brighter Futures on their 30 years of service and wish them many more years of helping build successful families. Thank you, Speaker.
The Honorable, the member for St. George's Umber.
Speaker, 100 years ago, Rachel Cavell McKay came into the world. I recently had an opportunity to wish her a happy birthday and to learn more about her life. Rachel is easy to talk to. She has an amazing wealth of knowledge and experience to share. She is proud of her family. She has a kind heart, bright smile, and a laugh that fills everyone around her with joy. She says the secret to a long and happy life is to not let your worries get you down. After her first husband, Nelson, passed in 1968, Rachel still had children to raise, so she had to make a living on her own. She planted vegetables, raised sheep, took in boarders, sewed clothes, sold knitting goods, and worked at the Gillum restaurant as a cook. It was tough going, but Rachel told me the hard work made her strong. She later met Willie McKay through her involvement with the Royal Canadian Legion, and married for the second time. Rachel is also a proud member of the Anglican Parish of Bay St. George, and she received a 50-year service award from the ACW. I ask all members to join me in wishing Rachel McKay a very happy 100th birthday. Thank you.
The Honorable, the member for Bonavista.
Speaker, the Cross of Valor is the highest civilian honor to recognize bravery in Canada. Today I recognize two residents of the District of Bonavista, Mr. Martin Sevier, sadly passed in February of this year, and Mr. Harold Miller of Burgoyne's Cove. The men were honored in 1981 for saving the lives of 12 crewmen on a trawler trapped in strong seas, heavily iced over, and in imminent danger of capsizing. This occurred in November of 1978, 13 kilometers from Nain, Labrador. Responding to the call in their fishing vessel, they were unable to get close enough to the trawler due to the adverse weather and volunteered to man a 6-meter motorboat. Battling 1.5-meter waves and high winds, these brave men made 2 nerve-wracking trips from the rescue fishing boat to the trawler, having to constantly bail water from their own boat during the harrowing journey. Amazingly, they rescued all 12 crew members. Unbelievably, Mr. Harold Miller, once again in 1987, entered the cold waters to rescue a fellow fisherman, receiving the Medal of Bravery in 1989. I ask the members of the 50th House of Assembly to join me in celebrating the courage and bravery of Martin Sevier and Harold Miller of Burgoyne's Cove.
The Honorable, the member for St. John's Centre.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, VOWR, Newfoundland and Labrador's pioneer radio station, celebrates 100 years of broadcasting on July 20th. Owned by Wesley United Church on Patrick Street, VOWR is the longest-running church-operated radio station in Canada and the longest-running station in the province. In 1933, the Federal Regulatory Agency shut down all church-run radio stations in Canada, but Newfoundland was its own country. Fortunately, when Newfoundland joined Confederation, VOWR was able to maintain its license. VOWR grew out of Reverend J.G. Joyce's vision and interest in the evolving new radio industry. He could serve parishioners unable to attend church services and the community at large. The station was ecumenical in nature and shared its airtime with different denominations. It also broadcast public service announcements, news, personal messages to people in isolated communities, and musical entertainment. Thanks to the internet, VOWR is able to broadcast to people around the world. 50 dedicated volunteers keep Reverend Joyce's vision alive. The late Henry and Francis Pike dedicated 62 years to the station, and Henry still hosted his own show at age 92. Speaker, VOWR continues to serve the public. Please join me in congratulating VOWR on its centenary and wishing them another 100 years of broadcasting.